So not too long ago, we put out a video about the things that we purchased here at our studio that were a horrible, egregious waste of money. And today we're gonna go ahead and flip that script. We're gonna go a little more positive with it, and we're gonna talk about the items that we wish we would have purchased sooner. Now, everything on today's list is fully responsible for elevating our craft and bringing in more clients and more money to our studio. And man, I'm telling you, every time we bought one of these items, we wish that we would have bought it sooner, right? We wish that we would have caused that growth to happen sooner. But in hindsight, you don't know what you don't know. So to save you from not knowing what you don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and put out today's list. And if there is anything on today's list that I have forgotten or a purchase that you'd like to mention down below that helped elevate your craft, I would love to hear about that. So go ahead and hook it up in the comment section down below, and let's get started with the number one thing that I wish I had purchased sooner. So it's no secret, I don't know, you don't know me from Adam, but if you ask my wife, she'll tell you I'm a little bullheaded, right? I'm a little stubborn, and that's just kind of how I roll. And at this point in the game, it's probably not going to change. So there it is. And the reason I'm telling you this is because when I first started learning photography, there was one piece of gear that all of the photography instructors pretty much insisted that you buy first. And I thought to myself, well, there's no way that that cheap piece of crap is actually going to do anything. I'm going to avoid all of that and save up my money so that later I can buy the real equipment and become a real studio photographer. And what I didn't know is that by dogging this particular item and not buying it, I really set my photography growth back. Now, the item in question is a 5-in-1 reflector. It is a stupid $20 Amazon purchase of a 5-in-1 reflector. Now, I had no idea how a simple reflector could just elevate your photos, right? It puts color in your subject's eyes. It fills in shadows. It takes away age. It does an amazing amount of heavy lifting for such an inexpensive piece of gear. And because I was so bullheaded and so stubborn, I thought that there was no way that that cheap piece of crap could ever help me. But I'm telling you, the minute that I started using a 5-in-1 reflector in my photos, my craft elevated and people could see that, and I started bringing in new customers and my business got better. All because of a stupid 5-in-1 reflector that I was too stubborn to buy. So the next thing on the list that I wish that I would have purchased a whole lot earlier is the 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Now, I'm telling you guys, as soon as you can afford one of these, you want one, right? Because it will change the look of your photography. It will give you a more cinematic look to all of your images. Family portraits, headshots, senior portraits, you name it. If you want it to look like a movie, go ahead and get yourself a 70 to 200. Because there is just something magical that happens when you zoom into 200 millimeters and you take a headshot. It is beautiful, right? It blurs out the background, it compresses the facial features of your client. It just makes everybody look like $1,000,000. Now, I can tell you the minute I bought the 70 to 200 and really started understanding how to use it, that's when the quality of my photography just went through the roof. That is really when my business started to grow. Now, to this day, I have a full complement of lenses, anything from the 35 all the way up to 85 to 135 primes, you name it, it's in my bag. And I day after day go back to the 70 to 200 because that is the look that I built my studio on, and that is the look that I literally have been making paychecks off for years. So again, as soon as you can, buy one of these lenses, or at the very least, I want you to jump on lensrentals.com, rent one, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, about the time that I bought that 70 to 200 millimeter lens, I also had a little extra money, and I started to dump that money into off-camera flash. Now, this really elevated my craft. This really jumped it up a notch for me because I was learning how to take natural sunlight and create a decent enough picture, but then I would use off-camera flash to augment the beautiful natural light, to add a little something something to it, right? Some special sauce. And the minute you learn how to blend artificial light with natural light and then craft the light that you see in your head, not the light that you're stuck with, that's when the game completely changes for you. That's when you're able to start creating photos and you stop just taking them. And it's all simply because of off-camera flash. So What I did back in the day was I went ahead and bought myself a couple of radio triggers and a speed light. That's what kicked it off for me. That's what showed me the magic and the possibilities. And from there, of course, I moved on to mono lights. And from there, of course, I moved on to larger, like 800 watt lights, Alien Bees at the time. But now I highly recommend the Godox or Flashpoint lights. Very affordable. And when you can get to that level and you have that level of creative freedom, you're going to watch your business explode. Now, when I bought my off-camera flash, there was a piece of gear that I didn't know that I needed, so I didn't buy it at the time, and not having it definitely held me back. It kept me from learning as fast as I could have, and it kept me from making money, basically, long and short of it. And that piece of gear was the light meter. Now, if you're gonna buy studio strobes, whether it's a speed light or it's a Godox or Flashpoint light, you need to be able to measure it, because if you can't measure it, well, you certainly can't blend it with natural light, right? You have to know what the lights are doing in order to make them work together. And if you don't have that light meter, take it from me, I didn't, you really are going to struggle learning off-camera flash. So go ahead and make it a whole lot easier on yourself, and just know that when you are ready to invest in off-camera flash, you also need to pick up a light meter. Now, the minute I picked up that light meter and started using it and started understanding light, well, that's when all the tumblers clicked and my world, my creative world, just opened up. So there I was with my off-camera flash, my light meter, and my business was exploding. I was creatively unlocked and really doing some good work and bringing in a ton of customers. And with those customers came a ton of images that I now had to edit. And my next item on the list for you guys is to purchase a powerful laptop or desktop as soon as possible. A powerful computer is going to save you minutes per file, per photo. And when you have, let's say, 300 photos to edit, and it's taking you a minute, maybe 2 minutes to go ahead and save those photos because your laptop is severely underpowered, well, those 2 minutes per photo times 300, that's real time. And that's time you're not sitting at the dinner table with your family. That's time that you're not out having some personal time for you. You're at the gym taking care of you. That is just you sitting behind a desk, grinding it out. So as soon as you can, if you value your free time and your sanity, I highly suggest picking up a very powerful or a moderately powerful computer. Don't go cheap. So now that you've got the quality laptop and you are chugging through the photo edits and you're killing it, you're knocking it out in no time flat, there's one more thing that might actually cost you wasted time and wasted money, and that is not having a proper photo editing monitor. Now, of course, again, I didn't back in the day because I was broke as a joke. And what would happen was I would spend hours editing these photos, and then when they came back from the print lab, they'd be completely wonky, and I'd have to re-edit them, send them back to the print lab, and cross my fingers that they came back correct the second time. And it was a horrible waste of time and money. And to get around that, all I had to do was invest a little bit of extra money into a photo editing monitor. So I highly recommend, the one that I use is the BenQ monitor, is the BenQ 27-inch photo editing monitor. Check out their website. I'll link it below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a link to what I use. Check it out, because this is going to save you a whole lot of time, a whole lot of frustration, and possibly money. Let's go ahead and recap real quick. You've got your really awesome computer. You've got your awesome photo editing monitor. Now, every now and again, in order to keep that editing monitor in line, this is something I didn't buy soon enough. You need a monitor calibrating device like this one right there. That's the Spider Pro. And this little doohickey is amazing. It just simply sticks to the front of your monitor and runs your monitor through a test and recalibrates all of the color. And that's just something that's going to happen to every monitor out there. If you use it on the daily, it's just going to shift from time to time, and it's going to do it subtly so you don't notice. And then one day you're going to get back a funky bunch of prints from your print lab and wonder what the hell happened. So to go ahead and combat all of that potential wasted time and money and frustration, just pick up one of these guys right here. All right, well, there I was cranking out the photos on my amazing new computer, getting accurate results thanks to my photo editing monitor and my calibrating device. But what was happening was, because I was editing so many photos, I started developing cramps in my hand. My hand was killing me and I couldn't figure out why. Well, I went to my local photo camera store and I talked to the guy behind the counter, and he said, dude, you need to stop editing with a mouse and you need to pick up one of these. Now, this is a Wacom tablet or a Wacom tablet. I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is a very cheap one. This is I think about $100 for this guy right here. And the way it helped me with my hand was, instead of basically drawing with a mouse or a hockey puck, I was drawing and editing with a pen. And we're all very used to this. We've been doing this since what, preschool, right? So it's incredibly intuitive, very, very accurate, and it saved my hand because I literally was having a hard time gripping my camera because I was doing so much editing with the mouse. So this not only saved me time and money, but it potentially saved my hand. I mean, I'd hate to think what a gnarled up little claw that I'd be stuck with if it weren't for this guy. So it sounds stupid, but I'm telling you, Wacom tablets are worth their weight in gold. So there I was, completely dialed in at that point, all my problems solved thanks to everything on today's list. And that's really when my business went from hobby to full-fledged business, 6-figure-a-year business, and I quit my job and I never ever looked back. And it's because of the items on today's list. Now, if you guys have any game-changing items that really turned the tables on your photography business, I want to know about it. Let's hook it up. Let's tell our success stories down below, and hopefully we can help other people turn their story into a successful one. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. It's been a pleasure, always is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.